You buy it immediately. Just buy it because the time is on your side. That building that I was renting for $700 today is bringing in $9,400 a month.
So you're just saying just get in the game.
Just get in the game.
How many properties do you have?
16. One of them is $7,000. The other one is $5,000 a month. A white woman knows nothing about me except I'm a brown skin and my accent. Oh my God, my English was very tiny. That's the opportunity that I needed.
If you think wealth is about luxury cars, designer jewelry, or exotic vacations, you're in the wrong place. We're not concerned about your net worth, your 401k, or how much debt you have. Our approach is much different because real wealth isn't only about money. It's about freedom. Freedom to work because you want to, not because you have to. Freedom to pursue your purpose, live on passive income, and build a legacy. That freedom starts now. Welcome to the Real Wealth Formula with Brad Hovis, where each episode breaks down the principles, mindset, and practical steps to help you experience financial freedom today. Real talk, real numbers, real freedom. This is the Real Wealth Formula.
This episode is brought to you by Rebiz.com. You've probably seen the same old stuff in your feed. Invest in a franchise, start an ATM route, buy a car wash, launch a vending machine side hustle. Cool ideas, but here's what they don't tell you. The good ones are way too expensive, and the cheap ones barely cash flow. But there's a business model that's quietly producing big paydays as well as monthly income for people working from home, a coffee shop, or even out of their pickup truck. Visit Rebiz.com, that's REIBIZ.com, to see how it all works.
What's up, Mogul? This is the Real Wealth Formula. I am here with Kal Murib. We have a very specific question for him, and that is how to acquire commercial real estate at a discount. Kal, help us out. How do we acquire commercial real estate at a discount?
You buy it immediately. Really seriously,
Yeah.
that's you cannot procrastinate on it. You cannot sit down and question whether the price is too high or too low or not right. Just buy it because the time is on your side. My accountant's son years ago, he came to me and he said, I'm looking at this building in Golden. Should I buy it? I said, absolutely. He said, but it's not making enough money. I said, who cares? You have other income coming from your job. Whatever you're short on, you can supplement that with your income. But in time, you're going to start leasing the space for $2 a foot, and in time it's going to be $3 a foot. And in time, the tenant is successful. He's never leaving you, and you can ask any price you want as long as it is.
As long as it makes sense. Yeah.
It makes sense, and it's the current going price per foot.
Well, you know what's funny, talking about just buying it, and it's one of the most regretful things I've ever done. I can remember in 2007 and 8 when I was learning, looking at some houses and then starting to buy in 2010, 11, 12.
Perfect timing.
Perfect timing. But I can remember being like, this house, oh man, I bought a house in the neighborhood for $110,000. They're wanting $120,000. That's way too much. Now those houses are going for $600,000 a spot. And you're like, wait a second, what is going on? So your point is buy it.
Buy it.
Shoot the lock off your wallet, get going, start buying these commercial real estate.
Buy it.
When you're looking for discounts in the commercial real estate space, what are you looking for?
Again, I don't know why you keep saying discount.
Okay.
It's a going price.
Okay.
All my commercial properties I bought, it was through networking. It wasn't advertised. It was people I knew, and I approached them and said, hey, I want to buy it. One property, it took me 20 years. Two, actually. One took me 20 years. The other one took me 18 years to acquire it. And it was stupid. It was really stupid. I mean, the building that I was running my business, every time I saw the landlord, I'd say, Jim, I want to buy the building. And he'd say, you're not buying the building. I'm not selling it. And a long story short, after 18 years, I didn't know that. Finally, one day he came to my shop and walking out the door, I said, Jim, I want to buy this building. And he went, Kal, you will never buy this building from me, from my kids, or my grandkids. And I said, okay, so he laughed. And then 2 weeks later, I went on a vacation to the Cayman Islands. And I'm sitting there. I said, okay, so this is what I'm going to do when I get back. Came back in end of June, and I wrote him a letter. And I put 2 checks. One check for the rent, which was $700, and one check is $50,000 down payment. The reason is he wanted $150 all along, and I've been beating with him for 18 years, $110, $115, and always the answer is no. So I finally gave him what he wanted. I gave him $150, $50 down. He carried the note on the $100,000 for like 3-4 years, paid him off. It was over with. That building that I was renting from him back in '99 for $700, today is bringing in $9,400 a month.
Well, I mean, like the question I'm asking, because I'm a residential investor.
Of course,
we're always looking for
I
discount.
hate the residential. I still do.
You still do. But we're always looking for that discount. We're looking for that distressed discount. So what you're saying, if I'm hearing you correctly, in the commercial side, really don't be looking for that discount. Get into it, something that can make you money. So is that fair?
Get your feet wet. Why? What's your home address? Let's say 7682 East First Avenue, right? Mm-hmm. There is only one 7682 East First Avenue in the world, period. Mm-hmm. So you have an iconic address, and nobody else can get it from. They cannot replicate it, So buy it, own it. Yeah, like you said about buying houses for $110, and before you know it, I mean, it's $120, $150.
Yeah.
Like you said, now they're $600,000, $700,000.
Yeah.
My cousin bought 11 houses in Thornton during that period of time, about 10 years ago, maybe 15 years ago. And he bought them for as low as 80 and as high as 210 for the most expensive. But now they're all worth $500,000-$600,000.
So you're saying just get in the game.
Just get in the game.
Yeah.
Just get in the game.
And not just get in the game, have a long-term mentality once you do get in the game. Because if you are having to buy it this year and then sell it 6 months later, yeah, in order to make some money, you're going to have to do some kind of a value add, buy it at a discount or whatever. But you're doing your commercial real estate for, it's not 1 year.
Oh, no. I have not. I only sold one property. I'm a holder. I don't sell.
Yes. Yes.
I only sold one property because I did the 1031. The property I bought was much better than the one I was selling. And
so you just exchanged it. You sold it to exchange it and keep that thing running. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. But you're holding on to these things. You are
absolutely
not getting rid of them. And so that's the mentality you've got is buy it, hang on to it, hold it for a long time. Now, what are you looking for in a commercial piece of property?
I was really lucky, Brad, that and fortunate that I was in Littleton. And I realized early on that Littleton was really a ghost town. And this is another story. We can go into it, but
go ahead.
I'll go into it. Okay. In the 80s, mid-80s to late 80s, early 90s, I would walk down the street, whether to go buy something from the hardware store or go to the bank or the shoe shop. And Main Street would be 50% either for lease or sale. And the other 20% of it is vacant,
This is in Littleton, downtown Littleton.
This is downtown Littleton, Colorado.
Yeah.
And the buildings were really old, architecturally designed. I had a good corner, so I had a great location. I ran my own business out of, and I leased that building for 20 years. So in the first 20 years I leased it, I paid them $180,000, I think about $180,000 to $200,000 in rent. Then I bought it. Right now, you come in and look at it and say, Cal, I'll give you $3 million. I say, I want to think about it. It's not for sale. Because it's producing.
Yeah.
It's producing way ahead of its time.
The question that gets asked of us was, how do you buy a commercial real estate at a discount? And the answer from what I'm hearing is you don't really need to get that commercial real estate at a discount so long as you're buying the right type of commercial piece of property. So for you, what is that right type of commercial real estate?
Main Street. Address, Main Street. Location. And Main Street was a ghost town. Yeah. So I got to tell you two things. How is that you try to approach the owner to carry the note.
Oh, okay.
At a discount rate.
Yeah.
Interest rate. And the reason is whether you are going to sit down and argue with the seller on $10,000 discount or getting the loan at a 1% less than the market, I would take the 1%.
Okay.
Plus, because in time it's going to be worth a whole lot more than that $10,000.
It's the whole I'll give you the price if you give me the terms mentality.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now,
And in commercial real estate, that's a normal thing to do owner carry back.
Of course.
That's a normal part of doing business.
It is in many cases, depending on the property you're buying. I'm a small property. The biggest building I have is 5,000 square feet.
Okay.
And the smallest one is 884 square feet. So depend on the property you're dealing with or that you're looking at. And when somebody asks me, what should I look for? I say, go look for, a 7-Eleven, a corner lot, something like, and I would rather buy a property that has vacancy than buy it completely occupied. If I buy it completely occupied, I'm lazy. I'm not.
So you are looking for those vacant commercial spots.
If you have like 3-4 spaces in a property and there's 1 or 2 vacant, take it.
So you're looking for those vacant commercial properties on like a main street where you
on a
put
corner.
traffic, on a corner, even better. I know you have some that are in the middle, but like you prefer the ones on the corner.
I do not have anything in the middle.
Oh, you don't? It's always on a. No kidding.
No kidding. Everything is either a self-independent building or on a corner.
Why do you prefer the corner over the middle?
I cannot, as a landlord, ask of you to pay me the same rate for that space versus the corner. The corner is worth a lot more because it's exposure.
Interesting.
And then the other thing you want to look at is the property facing south versus the building facing north. Why? You get the sun. Okay?
No snow on the sidewalk?
No snow on the sidewalk, and people are going to magnetize walking in the sun for 10 or 11 months every year than walking on the north side facing. So
then you're looking for a vacant piece of property.
Not per se totally vacant, 25-50% vacancy.
Yeah, on a corner, but in a busy walkway area, and trying to do some owner finance, owner carry, creative finance type situation. I bought my hotel. I owned a hotel for a decade up in Frisco. And that's exactly how I approached it. Not the corner of the thing, but it was on Main Street, Frisco. And I approached the owner and I did the exact same thing where I negotiated a creative finance situation. In that case, it was a lease with an option, but I eventually had him carry a note for me. And that worked out beautifully. So from a commercial real estate perspective, we don't deal in, a lot of our moguls, our listeners, we call our listeners and watchers moguls. That's what we're trying to get them to. We talk a lot to our moguls about single family real estate investing, but I wanted to have you on here because you're basically, for everyone listening, you've got several properties on Main Street. How many properties do you have, Main Street?
Total properties, 16, and 3 of them are residential, except one of the 3 is my residence. The other 2, the reason I branched in those, these are very high-end rentals, condos in a tower. One of them is $7,000, the other one is $5,000 a month. Yeah. So you demand, just the location of the property demand that kind of clientele. You're not going to be dealing with riffraffs. You're dealing with established people with credit. Yeah, I don't even check credit on them because if they can afford to pay $7,000, believe me,
they're fine. Yeah,
they're good.
So we met. We have you called it before we started airing this an investment group. It's not really an investment group, but it's a bunch of investors that go to the Rockies game during we go in the middle of the week in a day game when everybody else is working. All us investors are out there drinking beer, watching the Rockies lose over and over and over again. And you and I were talking about Littleton. You won't say this, but I will. He's basically the mayor of Littleton with all these commercial spots. Yeah. You've got so many different places. You go down there, everybody knows you. You walk down the street. You say, "Hey, do you know Cal?" "Oh yeah, Cal's over here." "Hey, I'm looking for Cal. Where's Cal at?" In fact, I was there and I tracked you down because I was like, "Hey, where's Cal?" "Oh, he was over at this bakery or something." Yeah. I don't even know where it was. But one of the things that I thought was really interesting was the city planning almost that you do, because you're like, hey, I don't want to have 2 pizza places right next to each other or whatever. Correct. Explain that from a commercial spot, from a commercial perspective.
This is really a great story. So when I bought the first building, I went and literally walked all the districts in Denver, knocked at door, restaurant managers, owners, chefs, to see if they would be interested in coming to Littleton. Nobody was interested in coming to Littleton. Finally, I hooked up with Kevin with Fontana Sushi on East Alameda. And we signed the lease. He's going to do a sushi restaurant in Lawton. There was none. That was the time a few years before that I got introduced to sushi, and I loved it. I loved the atmosphere in the restaurant, how fun, and you're getting just a little piece of meat here, and you're paying $5 for it. Holy cow. Yeah. Long story short, so I brought him in, signed the lease. Next thing I know, he called me, said, Kal, we cannot do it. I said, why? He said, the city said we need more parking. Okay, how many parking you need? 60 more parking spaces. Long story, I said, okay, let's go talk to Mary Roberts with the City of Lawton Economic Development. Mary, what's happening? Kal, you cannot do it because you don't have enough parking. You're going to create a parking problem. I said, Mary, that's exactly what I want to do. And the reason there was a deli and a print shop in that space, the only time that parking lot was full between 11:30 and 1:30. After and before that was vacant. Nobody there. So I said, that's exactly what I want to do. I want to create a parking problem. I want to sell a widget. I want somebody to park 3 blocks and walk to me, you know? And she said, well, give me some time. I'll get back with you. She called me back. I came into her office. She had 2 other people with her from the city.
PropStream is the most comprehensive and AI-enhanced real estate data provider nationwide. We equip real estate professionals with powerful tools and marketing solutions, helping them make informed decisions and find top leads faster. Visit realwealthformula.com/sponsors for a special link to get a free trial and a ton of goodies only for you, Real Wealth Formula moguls.
And she, I don't know if I should say that, but she said, do the sushi. We never talked about it. You know? And the reason I said, look, as a landlord, I don't care who I put there. You guys didn't hire the company, a marketing company or a consulting company out of Chicago. You paid them $75,000 to tell you what's wrong with Lawton. And the gateway to Lawton are the worst. 3 out of the 4 are horrible. And this building is one of them. I said, I, as a landlord, wouldn't care what to put in there because they're all paying me in US dollars. You have a choice: sushi, tattoo, check cashing, a liquor store, or palm reading. You tell me what you want to see at the gateway of Lawton.
That's right. So that spot, and you still own that building.
Oh, I still own that building, and the sushi's still there till today.
Yeah.
They've been there for 28 years.
Unbelievable.
Imagine that. 28 years, you're getting your pay rent, like the sun comes up every day.
So then in the commercial space, this is actually really fascinating because I'm glad we're having this conversation. I've only done a handful of commercial deals, right? And I've always done them at either terms or discounts.
Big mistake.
You're saying, yeah, I've owned this spot for 28 years. Imagine having lost that deal because you wanted a 10% discount on something.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, let me tell you the story on that, how it became, how I acquired that building. Back in the mid-'80s, I owned 3 condos, and it was terrible. I just couldn't manage them. I was running a small business, just opened my business in 1981, and I finally came to the conclusion they're not my cup of tea. They happened to be all vacant. I painted them, recarpeted them, went to the landlord, and I said, here's $5,000 deed and loan foreclosure on each unit.
You just gave them back?
Just gave them back.
Wow.
They turned it down. I hired a lawyer. He sent a letter to each one of them saying, you take this deal or Kal is going bankrupt. They took the deal. Then I said, I'll never buy real estate again. So back in the late 90s.
So make sure I understand. You had these condos, and you're like, this is such a headache. I can't do it. I don't want to. I'm going to just give it back to the bank, deed in lieu of foreclosure. You take it and be done with it.
Done.
Okay. So you got out of the real estate business.
Completely.
Okay.
In the early 80s, we're moving into another house. We've been looking for 2 years. Finally found the house. The house had 7 liens. It took us 9 months to clear them out. Right? It was a hell of a deal on the house. Market was horrible. I have this lawyer friend, customer of mine that I really liked. I never charged them for repairing his vacuum. And I said, well, I need, finally, when we cleared all the liens, I said, I need a lawyer to look at this. So it was a file that thick. Went to Vern Corcoran, a lawyer who became my friend. And we spent like an hour talking about traveling, hunting, fishing, skiing, you name it, every sport. And finally he said, what can I do you for? I said, here you go, and gave him the file. And he said, I got up to leave, and he said, Kal, you should consider buying this building in downtown Lawton, not far from you. You'll drive by it every day. You'll see what's going on. We left, got in the car, we're pulling out of the parking lot. I look at my wife and I said, if we buy the house or the building, we're buying the building. 30 days later, we closed on the house. 10 days after that, we closed on the building.
I got
Bottom
both of
both.
them. Yeah.
Went from $65,000 loan on the first house that I sold to these two at $482,000 loan. I mean, that killed me.
Yeah.
A vacuum cleaner, a guy from Lebanon, putting himself in debt that deep, it's ridiculous. But it was nothing but making money. So that building, it had a print shop, a deli, and a flower shop. 2 months after I bought it, the flower shop got out. They gave me $8,000 just to walk away. Fine, I let them go. I abated the taxes with the county. It was $7,000. It took me 6 months to get it, but I got it. The rent was $2,900. I closed on it on the 29th of January. I gave them $16,000 at closing. They gave me back $10,000. 2 days later, I collected $3,000 rent for February. So what was it costing?
It's a
me?
wash, yeah.
$3,000
basically.
But then I got the flower shop to buy their lease, and I paid the taxes. This building has been nothing but a cash cow ever since day one.
20-something years. 30-something years.
Oh yeah, 36 years.
36 years.
36 years.
Golly.
And my ex got it in the divorce 15 years ago. And as far as I know, about 6 years ago, she was offered 4.2, and she turned it down.
Well, because what's in it now?
Still the sushi.
The sushi spot,
Sushi.
yeah.
And since I had one of the best breakfast places in Colorado, Toast was ranked one of the top 10 pancake house in the country, right? They moved out 3 years ago, 4, 5, 6, in June during COVID, 5 years
2020?
ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5 years ago, they moved out. And we signed the lease with an Indian restaurant. They stayed there for 3 years. For 3 years, they left. And now we're bringing Snarf's.
Snarf's is coming in.
Snarf's coming in.
Beautiful.
So he took the two spaces, the deli space and the flower shop space. And
So going back, talking about going with the commercial real estate, it's much different than residential. There are some things to know. For instance, Snarf's. And for anyone who's not in the Denver area, Snarf's is a really good, famous sandwich shop.
Local shop.
Like a local shop. It's all over the Front Range. It's amazing. The fact that when you told me when you came in today that Snarf's is moving there, I thought, man, that's amazing. But there is some uniqueness to new tenants moving into a commercial spot. Explain, whether you want to get into the details with Snarf exactly or not, but like explain what it's like for them to do the TI, the tenant improvements, and what that looks like and what you as a landlord have to kind of put up with.
one of the main reasons I like commercial real estate is the fact that you sign a 5 or a 10-year lease.
Yeah.
Unlike residential, 6 month or a year lease. And the time will go by so fast. Before you know it, you have to sit down, find a new tenant, and you have to sit vacant maybe a month, maybe none, maybe 6 months to find the right tenant. Commercial is, on the other hand, is 5 to 10 years. Yes, you do have to do some concessions to commercial tenants. I'll give you an example on another tenant that I ended up giving them a year free rent. They continued to pay the CAM fees, which are critical because those are everyday costs.
What are CAM fees for our Mogul?
Sure. CAM fee or triple net is like your taxes, property tax, insurance, snow, water, trash, maintenance, upkeep, or any outdoor repairs.
So
that's all passed through to the tenant.
And typically, what's that cost going to be?
It depends. It depends on the county, the city where you at, the property tax. That particular property, for example, when I bought it, it was really cheap. When I bought it, the tax on it was like about $4,000. Today, it is $18,000.
Okay.
So
the tenant's paying the taxes and the snow removal
yes,
and the tax.
and that comes down to right now is coming down to about $15 a foot.
Okay.
Per foot.
Okay.
So if you're asking,
So
40,
while they're not paying your rent, they are taking care of those expenses.
Expenses, yeah.
If you've got a note against it, they're not taking care of your note.
No,
right?
of course not.
Right. But they're taking care of the CAMs.
Correct. But when I negotiated, I did not want to give them any time. I didn't want to give them a year. I wanted to give them 3 months or maybe 6 months. And the year went by so fast.
Yeah.
I didn't lose any money because I was had some other residual income coming in that kept me afloat. But then when that anniversary comes in and you go from zero income to $10,000 income
As a different
overnight,
story. Yes, sir.
let the party begin.
And so for a lot of our people, the name of the podcast is The Real Wealth Formula, where we talk about, passive income becoming larger than your monthly expenses. This is the definition of passive income, 5 to 10 year leases.
Absolutely.
Where you've got really good paying people. You're talking about hardly even doing background checks because it's like, wait a second, they're personally guaranteeing these leases.
Yeah,
right?
personally and corporately.
Yeah. So for instance, a company like Snarf's, they have, how many locations? 100 locations?
No.
They seem like they're everywhere.
Yeah, they are everywhere. No, I think last year and this year, he opened about 20 locations.
Oh, he seems like he's doing a really good job then, because he seems like he's everywhere.
Yeah, he has a sandwich and then they have the burger.
Yes.
And he want to take the sushi and make it into a burger.
And you're like, nope.
Eventually,
Sushi's been good. We're keeping
course.
sushi.
Of course, yeah.
So then you get these great tenants, right? And they've got this 5 or 10 year lease. You got to do some concessions. You're only getting the cams for a year. It's a year long where they're building out, doing the tenant improvement and whatnot. Then that, month 12, I guess, or month 13, now that rent starts coming in. But between the time you acquire that deal and start cash flowing that deal, there's a lot of stuff that the tenant is doing. Like I know you've got a brewery out there. We talked off camera about them putting a lot of money into that to the tune of hundreds of thousands of dollars, $700,000-$800,000.
Correct.
Like, and this is a long time tenant. Explain that situation to us.
If you're an active real estate investor and you're not using FreedomSoft, I got bad news for you. You're getting beat by other active investors who've been utilizing this CRM software for well over a decade. We're able to close deals faster, more consistently, and with higher margins. So if you're tired of getting beat, go to realwealthformula.com/sponsors and click on the FreedomSoft link. Start doing more deals today.
What are they doing to improve the commercial spot?
The difference between the first brewery and the second brewery is they have to build it to meet what their vision is. And so it's not like you're renting a store or a space and you're going to repair shoes or be an alteration. All you do is just do a couple of hangers for $1,000. You're open overnight. Mm-hmm. A restaurant, on the other hand, like in a historic district, it took Snarf's 8 months to get their plans approved. First through historic.
Just to get the plans approved.
To get approved through historic to let them in, and then for the building department to approve their plans, construction plans. And then after that, it took them 4 months to get started on the improvement.
The actual construction.
Yeah, exactly. And which was in December of last year. And so here we are now in May. So that's 6 months. And there's still about a month or two out to open.
Okay. But they're putting in, I remember.
Serious money.
Serious money.
Yes, they're putting serious money.
So you're having tenants investing money into your building.
Correct.
Right.
And nobody's calling me say the switch is not working, the toilet is not flushing, and the light bulb is burned. For 10 years, they are responsible for everything on the inside of that walls.
Yeah.
Everything.
And then when they leave, that stuff stays behind, right? Most of what they've done.
Anything that's on wheels or on legs can move. Anything that's attached has to stay. What is more important in a restaurant? Moving. The biggest loss will be the HVAC, 1, 2, the hood. And those are expensive. But your tables, your chairs, anything portable you can pick up and leave.
But they're the ones improving those things, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And really, it doesn't really matter whether they take whatever they want. The next tenant is going to do something totally different.
That was my exact next question. You had, can we use the names? Was it Jackass Brewery? Mm-hmm. And now it's the Denver Beer Company, right? Right there in downtown Littleton.
Correct.
I've been to both. And there's a difference. You can see a difference, but not a big number difference. What is it that makes it that they just want to change from one brewery to another brewery? Because it seems like you would just plug and play, but I guess they have different visions. Is that what it is?
They have a different vision. They have, for example, DPC, when they came in, they took the parking lot, eliminated the parking lot, made it an outdoor patio.
Nice. Yeah.
So last week, for example, on Friday, I went there for lunch, and the patio was packed. The inside of the building was empty. There was nobody sitting inside.
Because it was a nice day.
It was a beautiful day.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the beauty about Colorado. Yeah. Don't move to Colorado. We have enough foreigners.
We have too many foreigners.
We have too many foreigners.
Do they give you a discount when you come in there, or are your restaurants charging you?
And a matter of fact, I make it very clear to every tenant that comes in. When they first open, they want to buy me. I said, don't you ever buy me anything. I do not want a discount because I'm not going to give you a discount on your rent. So I want to come here because I want to. Okay?
I like that.
I said, I want to come here to eat your food because I want to, not because I have to. But under one condition, if I ever go broke, then you feed me till I'm full, and you don't charge me then.
So you break your one rule if you go broke.
Absolutely, that's it. If I go broke, then you're
Beautiful.
Supposed to feed me.
Beautiful.
No, but I don't. Matter of fact, I absolutely not. Yeah. Now, one thing I do request from my tenants is that once a year they have to give me a dinner plus alcohol for 25 of my friends, and some not all of them argued or questioned it, but when they question, I say, listen, I'm bringing you new faces. I'm not bringing you the people that I hang out with on a daily basis.
Yeah.
I'm bringing you friends that are from Aurora, from Westminster, from
and it's
Boulder.
all negotiable.
They
can say yes or no, and then you get a different tenant.
But you know what? I don't hardly ever. I use it maybe once and never use it again.
Yeah. Well, and I've been with you when you're down there. Your tenants love you.
Thank you. Yes.
Like we walked into a couple of spots, and it was like it was like Norm from Cheers coming into Kal, right? Like everyone loved you, right? Help me understand that. It seems like you have a different relationship with your tenants than the traditional person who owns a residential doing traditional rentals.
Well, let me start with this. I am so grateful for this country. I am so grateful for Littleton. I'm so grateful for the people of this country, period. Here's a kid that came from Lebanon at age 22, just finished high school, and started small business. And my business plan was simple back in 1980. I remember telling my girlfriend then, I said, listen, all I need is 4 vacuum cleaners a month to pay all the bills, to repair them.
So people who don't know, and I didn't know this until literally today, you ran a vacuum cleaning repair business?
Repair business, correct.
So you were repairing vacuum cleaners?
I said, all I need is 4 vacuum cleaners a month to repair them, and I'll pay all the bills. Now, you go to any bank today and you give them that plan. You see how much money you get. So
you came to you were born in Lebanon.
Correct.
Came here when you were 22 years old.
1978.
How much money in your pocket?
$300.
$300.
$300. When I started my business, almost 3 years later, I started my business with $1,400. I gave the landlord $800 for first month and $400 for security deposit. Left me with $600, and I did not own a screwdriver. I just knew I can do it.
How did you know to fix the vacuum cleaners?
I was working at a vacuum shop. That's why I got.
So you learned the skill, and then you said, "Let me open my own shop."
And the reason I opened my shop is because the second time I was fired by the same guy twice, and then I said I will never work for anybody else, and so I opened my own business.
You got fired by the same guy twice.
Twice, yeah.
He did not like you.
No, he actually loved me, but he was an idiot because I was making him money, and therefore I was okay. Now you got to go back. So the first time was for 3 months I was with them, $3.65 and 6% commission on the profit. The second time, I begged him to give me my job back, and it went $3.65 an hour plus 3% commission.
So you took a pay cut.
4 months later, I got fired, not because I was lazy or anything, but because I was making too much commission.
He didn't like that.
He didn't like it. He got greedy. The number one failure in any relationship is greed, envy, and jealousy. If you can put these aside, you are on the right track. Let me go back. I love
Clip that, by the way. That's a good one. That's exactly right. Yeah. You know, my number one core value among my business, and you know, I've got my staff here, is be generous, right?
Yeah.
Like if you're the opposite of being generous is being greedy. You can't be greedy.
Yeah, you can't. You just
Not if you're generous.
so. Why is my relationship so strong in Lawton? I am the most common face on Main Street.
Correct.
Every day. I am in town, I'm on Main Street. I'm the only landlord that's involved in what is Littleton today. Littleton made me who I am today, period. No two way about it. They didn't do anything special for me. They didn't treat me because I'm a foreigner that I deserve a grant or nothing. I did this all on my own. I just, I wanted a better life for me that I knew I couldn't get what I did here in Lebanon. Okay. And that's true about Lebanese people. Lebanese people in Lebanon itself, the country, there's about 5 million of us. In Brazil alone, there's 7 million. In the world, we have about 16, 17 million Lebanese outside Lebanon. Lebanon, when you're born, immediately they tell you, you're going to get the hell out of here when you grow up. And that's what happened.
Yeah.
Anyhow, go back to Littleton.
Let me ask you a question. With Littleton, you know, for those of, you know, this goes out to the whole world. A lot of people don't know Denver and, you know, the suburbs of Denver and Littleton and whatnot. Littleton is a particularly downtown Littleton. We're not talking about the entirety of Littleton, you know, with all the schools and whatnot. You know, some people think about Littleton as, oh, that's, you know, where Columbine High School is. Columbine's in Littleton, right? But there's a downtown Littleton where the buildings are not more than what, 3 floors, 3 stories?
2 stories.
2 stories?
On Main Street.
Main Street. And what you have when you go down there, it's very Gilmore Girls-esque. It's very like a small town. And we're talking about the Denver Metro, which is a large metro, 3 million people just here. You get this like kind of an oasis from like the downtown of Denver and the big skyscrapers or whatever. It's almost got a small town feel to it where you're like, I'm going from this restaurant to this, you know, other business, this clothes shop, this, you know, people come from all over to just shop up and down Main Street. And frankly, it wasn't always like that, right? How did you choose Memphis, or how did you choose Littleton, or did Littleton choose you?
Littleton chose me because the way I discovered Littleton, I made the wrong turn on the street and ended up, I said, okay, I know I'm wrong. I took the wrong road. So I turned around and I drove through Main Street. I said, you know, I've been here for 2.5 years now. And I said, this is nice, because I lived in Aurora in horrible conditions. And so I turned around again and came back, and I parked right in front of Town Hall Art Center, what it is today. And that building has my name on it. I'll tell you the story on it in a bit. And I walked up and I went into the hardware store, and that building I own today as well. And I said, this is nice. And the guy that at the hardware store, Mr. Dick Valor Sr., he was the ultimate white person, right? Okay. He talked with the Southern slang and all of that. But it was, he welcomed me. I felt comfortable. Really, you have to understand this. A foreigner coming to Littleton, Colorado.
You don't know how you're going to be perceived.
Exactly.
Exactly. Are we afraid of you? Are you afraid of us? All that kind of thing. Yeah.
So anyhow, I found this space for lease. It's a small building. It used to be a State Farm agency. It's like 400 square feet. And I went to the landlord. I said, I want to rent it. He wouldn't rent it to me. Second time I got fired is when I went back to him. I said, I need to rent the space. I can't rent it to you. I said, why can't you rent it to me? Well, I have a partner. Who's your partner? My wife. I said, call her. Well, she's not home. I said, call her. And you remember the old days? Credenza behind. He turned around.
The mic.
And he was dialing the phone. Yeah. And he told her that this guy here And she said, bring him over. So we jump in his car and we go to his house. This is true story. I just sit down in their kitchen, have a cup of coffee, and we get up to leave. I'm waiting by the door. She's standing next to me, and he's standing opposite me. And she went like this, Leonard, I want you to rent the store to my son. This is why I love this fucking country.
Yes, love it.
This is why I love this fucking country. Yeah. A white woman knows nothing about me except I'm a brown skin and my accent. Oh my God, my English was very tiny.
Yeah.
That's the opportunity that I needed.
Yeah.
That is, until today, I call her mom.
Yeah.
And when she comes to eat at my restaurants in Littleton, tell Kal mom's here. I mean,
that's cool.
You know,
so the house got started. I'm loving this story. You go and rent it from this guy. This guy's not really into it. The mom, his wife, says, "Let's give him a chance."
Yeah,
and so then, therefore, quite literally, Littleton chose you.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. So I opened my business, and I have to say this, interject. Since then, I have reciprocated that 4 times to 4 different tenants of mine, where nobody else would rent them. I did.
Yeah.
And just on a whim and whatever, because I believed in them.
Well, man, that's great, dude. So then when you got into America, you started working. You learned a trade of the vacuum cleaning stuff, repair stuff. Were you doing real estate on the side as you're running this business, or what?
Oh yeah,
help me understand.
Yeah, in the 80s, I opened my business in 1980, December of 1980, and like I said, in the mid 80s to late 80s, I relinquished 3 condos back to deed in lieu foreclosure, and then I bought my first commercial in February of 92.
92.
Yeah, 10 years later.
So were you still doing the vacuum repair?
I sold my business in 15. I had 2 locations. Yeah, I had 2 locations. Sold the first one in 14, the second one a year later in 15, and I retired since.
So while you're doing
the vacuum
repairing,
I was buying commercial property.
You were buying commercial property. So quite literally, our acronym REAL stands for reduce your monthly expenses, enlarge your active income, right? So you're doing active income, and then we say the next one is acquire passive income. So while you're working and increasing and growing into multiple shops and doing more business, perfecting the business of, in your case, vacuum repair, as you're increasing that, you're taking your income and your active income and purchasing passive income.
Correct.
You're going and purchasing passive income in the form of commercial real estate.
Yeah.
And you did that up until 10 years ago. 2015?
The last building I bought was...
No, I'm talking about operating the business, like the vacuum repair shop. You operated that until 2015.
Correct.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
That's following the real wealth formula. And your story is not unlike other people. This is a pretty common. You probably didn't know this at the time, but this is it is a common formula that we see among real estate investors, particularly people who become wealthy through real estate investing. They're working a regular job and investing in real estate. They're working a regular job and investing in real estate and increasing that passive income. So that right now, I mean, let's face it, your passive income is larger than your monthly expenses. Is that fair?
Oh my God, yeah,
not even
absolutely,
close.
by far.
Yeah.
How do you get into real estate? Is simple. One word: savings.
Yeah.
We do not know in this country how to save.
Yeah.
To save enough money to put a down payment on a $100,000 condo or $1 million house or $2 million commercial property.
Yeah.
We don't have the capability to save it. The minute we make it, in most cases, we tend to spend it before we get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was gone.
Yeah. I mean, that's exactly right. And when you come from Lebanon with nothing, and you're like, wait a second, we've got to figure finances out like now. You don't have the luxury to go and say, let me go put it on a credit card. Let me go and incur this debt. Let me, be unwise with my money. Is that fair to say?
It is. And about credit card, I have never paid a penny in financing or interest on credit card ever since I've had them for the past 30 years.
Nice.
My credit cards are paid monthly, every month, period.
Yeah.
I use somebody else's money instead of them using my money.
Beautiful. Kal, man, I got to tell you, I came into this episode with this idea of hey, how can I apply some principles of residential real estate into the commercial side? How do you, and the question that we asked was, how can you acquire commercial real estate at a discount? And the answer, really simple, is don't. Acquire.
Just buy it.
Just buy it.
Just buy it.
Get in the game. Maybe negotiate some terms. Get better terms with
interest
owners, with interest rates, with something like that.
Correct.
But get into the game, and then probably the thing that our moguls need to hear the most is buy it and don't sell it.
Don't sell it. God, so many things to talk about.
Well, let's save it for another time.
Okay.
Because what I want to do, I think, is a good breaking point for us. We'll have you back for sure. You got too many stories to not have you back. Okay. I appreciate you doing. Here's one of the traditions that we have for all of our guests. I'm a big baseball fan. I played Division I baseball for a little bit. You see right there, we got the baseballs, and there's a pin back there. When I have guests come on, I want you to sign one of my baseballs. So
I hate baseball.
I don't. That's not true. You go to the ball games with me.
I go with you guys.
So if you could sign one of my baseballs, if you don't mind. It's funny because we go to these we I guess we call them investment groups. Let's say investment groups. We rent out a whole bunch of seats. There's a pen right there. All of the ushers know us, and part of the reason for it is because we've got Ben. Yeah, you can get pretty loud. Ben can get very loud.
That guy never shuts up.
That guy never shuts up. It's so loud. We love it. So yeah, if you could sign my baseball, I appreciate it. Yes, sir. That's the big boys. Yep. So man, really, I appreciate you hanging out and spending time, but, this has been great. Get in the game, hold on to that thing long-term, let the thing cash flow, work with the tenants, build a really good relationship with them. There's a lot of things that we can learn, frankly, from the way you handle your commercial stuff, even in the residential world.
My advice to you, particularly, is get out of the residential if you can. Get in the commercial industry because you don't have to worry about it. Now, there's another branch to the commercial. You have building like, say, independent building, 7-Eleven, Starbucks, Chipotle, Grease Monkey, whatever, something like that. And you can buy that building because they have 10-year lease plus 2.5, so that's 20-year lease, where you don't do nothing, absolutely nothing. You just get a check first of the month from the corporate headquarters.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I don't like, I am completely with you. I do not like traditional rentals, and we don't do that. So what we're doing is we acquire these houses, fix them up, and then we sell them via finance. So I turn them into notes effectively.
Yeah.
I become the bank.
Exactly. That's the smart way to do it.
That's the way we like. That's my private equity company. And we do that over and over and over again in multiple markets across the country. And I then can also recruit branch partners of my private equity company to go do this business with me. And so I'm able to kind of scale that way. So I do like residential. I'm not opposed to commercial. I've owned several pieces of commercial real estate. In fact, one of the most profitable deals I've ever did was my hotel up in Frisco. But we'll have to talk about that, in the next one that we get you back.
All right.
So Kal, I appreciate it again. And everybody else, we'll see you on the next episode.
Thanks for tuning in to The Real Wealth Formula, hosted by Brad Hovis. If this episode helped you see money and purpose a little differently, Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. Share with someone who's ready to build real wealth. And keep building the life, purpose, and freedom you were made for. Until next time, keep your goals clear and your wealth real.